email marketing is so technical right now. So it's not how it used to be like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's just more cyber security marketing type when you need to work with your domains, with your mailboxes, with your infrastructure, with your DNS records. And marketers should be kind of in a position that they understand all those technical terms. But email marketing still works and still can be the key for grow your company as a key growth channel.
Immigrants across the globe, welcome again to another morning at the Immigrant Nation Pod. Over the years, we've talked to a lot of immigrants, but each one has a very unique, very interesting story to them. And today, we are honored to have a very unique and different, interesting story. For you out there who are listeners of our show, please, we're asking that you do us a favor and share our show at least with one immigrant out there and obviously subscribe. Vlad, welcome to the Immigrant Nation podcast. Today's show has been sponsored by Northwest EMS, ambulance company out of Houston, Texas. We're excited about having our conversation today with Vlad. Vlad, please tell our listeners who you are and why you're in this show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Martin. So, I'm myself a founder of multiple companies. I would say serious entrepreneur. The biggest company that I created is Balkans. We are B2B appointment setting, and we are actually number one appointment setting in the US. Um, that doing this kind of client acquisition services across all the channels, primarily with email, cold calls, content, ads, and social. So basically, putting everything in this kind of flywheel, omni-channel approach, and delivering our for our clients, like some clients for them for their services, for their products, or increasing their market share because we working a lot with mid-sized enterprise companies. And primarily my experience is in sales tech and martech in B2B space. And after that, I like managed to create more than 10 different companies, both product service companies, not just in sales tech and martech, but also in agriculture, AI, and one project that I'm currently wanted to kind of run is in healthcare. We basically wanted to create product that will utilize AI to have a prediction of possibility of indication of breast cancer using the older data. So this is cool product that kind of motivates me to build more and more. But I'm also a builder that, by my nature, that always wanted to build something new, something great, and leveraging all the opportunities out there.
We welcome Vladyslav Podoliako, Ukrainian entrepreneur, founder of Belkins and formerly from startup struggles to scaling multi-million dollar companies. He was laid off in 2017. Today, he's built Belkins, a 10 million plus AAR company, and Foldly, a $15 million leads company with over 300 employees working for him.
Yep.
Vlad,
Thank you.
you have a very interesting immigrant story. What I found to be interesting was some of the things you had said in the past, right? So I am very familiar with the feeling of being terminated, and I'm sure a lot of immigrants have that feeling. For you, what was your mindset the moment you were laid off in 2017? Did you ever doubt that you would build something greater than you have?
It's actually awful feeling when you got laid off from the company that you used to work for years. But maybe at that period of time, I was ready for creating something bigger. And I've got this feeling that, like always, it's been in myself from my childhood that I'm always like wanted to build not just the company, but something that I would invest in, like full my money, my passion, my time, and everything into, and that this will try me through the different challenges in my life. So this is one of the reasons why we created Balkans 10 years ago, and how we made company very successful is that we just passionate about what we are doing, passionate about serving our clients, And yeah, this is the reason why kind of everything flourishing.
Very interesting. So you have businesses in the US, and obviously you're in London this morning. You're an entrepreneur who understands what scale is. Um, Walk us through the process of having failed in one end, the reason for you being terminated, to bootstrapping and deciding, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I want to create something big, something massive. What's the mindset shift there that occurred for you?
um, Adaptability. Adaptability is was with me and my entire life, and as a Ukrainian, and the Ukrainians can all address of that we are pretty adaptable and resilient, no matter what we are doing. And I have a lot of my friends that have this kind of habit that grow in them over the years, the soft skill. And adaptability is to kind of be ready that anything can happen with you, and that you need just find your inner strength to move forward and continue to build, continue to grow, continue to be successful in a way. Because a lot of people rely on you. For example, when you're building a company, you can address that people that was in the company always rely on you as a founder. That you will always find, keys for each and every closed door out there, and sometimes you just need to break these doors because you don't have a key and learn quick about everything. So adaptability may be the one of the most important skills, I would say, even for now, for like living in 2025, shifting to 2026, with entire kind of world changes, world economy, wars, and everything that's happening across the globe.
Very interesting. So, as a business person who is working in Europe and in America, knowing at the back of your mind you come from a country that isn't attacked by Russia, does that affect your emotional capacity to be able to make the right decisions to grow your business?
Of course, of course. I have a lot of my friends and family that's still in Kiev, and this awful. And my personally myself, I really support all of my people there, and finding all the resources that I can do. And within the company, we have a lot of kind of initiatives that help friends of friends, families, and basically to kind of go over it. But yes, if I would say otherwise, it would be like you just this is not something that happened on Mondays by occasion. It's just something that really awful can happen with your country in a way that if you have a bad neighbor or worse neighbor. So yeah, I would say it definitely affects all the people out there and their mental capacity, especially when you have your families out there.
You talked quite a bit about being adaptable. What does that translate to, being adaptable in business when you're thinking about growing as large businesses like you have? Obviously you don't get to the point where you are by working alone, you get to that point by working with other people. So walk us about your process for being adaptable to leaders who will help you be able to grow your business.
You mean what they need to focus in on, what they kind of need to be adaptable, right?
Yeah, but let's start with, how do you identify a true leader and the right person for the right seat?
Um, for my companies, I'm heavily involved to the hiring process on the later stages to kind of address culture fit and be kind of, you know, finding like-minded people, because eventually what I was dream for is that we can build a really big scale company that would operate as a kind of, community or society of people that like-minded and can grow together, share a lot of things, help one another. And this is really interesting and kind of warm for my heart to build, because when I finding like a lot of kind of cases that someone kind of needs help and my team or myself helping this person within the team. It's really great to have really great community. So finding like-minded people is the key of growth your company, obviously, and without being involved in that, you probably cannot find, or maybe have a really a slight chance of hiring right person.
Vlad, so hiring is a very interesting process, but if we can just walk away from the hiring process and go back to where you got started, this is where most immigrants really get stuck, right? When you lose a job, if there's a few immigrants that lost their jobs in the last couple of weeks, maybe, and they're in that limbo, what natural talents do you default to make the decision to either go out and acquire a business or start one?
Really heavily dependent on your skills and whatever you wanted to build. I know that there is a trend that everyone building their own company, especially with AI growing, and it's a good thing to build your company, but you just need to expect that it will bring a lot of burden. So if I would transfer myself 10 years back, I would strongly debate with myself about creating a company, because you like 10 years ago, I would say that you will go through so many different things, and maybe good ones, maybe shitty ones, but still it will define who you will be. So it really depends on how really like you to struggle in a way. If you will if you will start to build something, you will definitely will face a lot of struggle. But again, you can be on kind of more safe note and find a great opportunity within some company that you can be part of. I don't know, you can, find the dream job in Nvidia or OpenAI or any other company that maybe suits your skills and passions and opportunities that you wanted to achieve.
Very interesting. So, Blood, you did not get here without failing quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
And for me, failure has two aspects of it. First aspect, there is the emotional part, right? For an entrepreneur, you have to figure out how you will overcome the emotional part of failure. And then there is the financial part or the goals part, where you're not able to accomplish the goals you had targeted or have not been able to get to the financial goal you've set. How do you deal with failure?
That's a good question because I failed a lot. The difference is that I'm always ready and have a courage to say myself that I need to do 5, 10 steps back. And even though if I would be super stubborn and have a lot of kind of, experience and knowledge that this is what I can do or have a capacity to do so, and failed after. So I definitely have a courage, and this is the one of the skills that a lot of founders or CEOs lack of, to say courage to yourself that you right now need to do 5 steps back and do everything from scratch, learn from scratch, and have a strength to kind of start from the beginning. So
Okay, so let me let
failures
me
is
let me
just,
interrupt here if you don't mind.
yeah.
You say take 5 steps back. Okay,
Yeah.
break that down for us. What is the 5 steps we're breaking down when we fail?
It's kind of figuratively speaking, but for example, you are entire your life in kind of building service companies, right? And you decided on the like tomorrow build a product one because you wanted to build SaaS company, right? Because
Yeah.
you heard that it would be a lot of margins, it would be a lot of fun, less people, and it's just like super cool to build a product company, which is it is. Kind of, it's super cool to build a company, but due to all of your experience of building service companies, grow with the people and deliver kind of service results, you will start to build a product company. You will fail because you don't know what kind of development is, and what you are building, how to structure it, because it's very different from building a service company to build a product company. And a lot of CEOs starting to, to throw a cash in it, start kind of burn their savings, burn themselves to build this product that they wanted to build, but eventually they fail because from very first step, like identifying what you build, how you build architecture and everything, it can be very different because you don't have a technical experience. For example, you need to kind of find the person who will be technical, or you wanted to outsource the product that you wanted to build and you don't understand how the product development works, and these people that you would talk to will bullshit you from very beginning, and after like 6 months investing $100,000 you would end with nothing, even though you wouldn't build MVP without your skills, without skills of understanding what they built or what they committed to, or any other things. So in this kind of example, do a few steps back in order to understand how the development works. For example, are you sure you wanted to build a product? Would you want to burn your money as savings, or you wanted to raise some money from angel investors to get the seed funding to build some? So sometimes people just stuck in this kind of limbo of not understanding what they do wrong because they are so successful with point A that they achieved something and they wanted to get to point B, but they don't know nothing about this point B, so they failed a lot in that. So there's definitely takes a lot of courage to kind of look at yourself and say like, okay, I'm doing kind of the worst job or bad job right now and I need to find someone who will manage this, or learn kind of by example what you can understand better, or you know, you got the point.
So, Vlad, still on failure. Um, what was the most embarrassing failure you've had?
Embarrassing, okay, I need to think about this. So most embarrassing. So maybe when I start my journey in sales and marketing, I think a lot of sales and marketing people can relate on this. When you're sending like 10,000 emails on missing variables, when you're saying to 10,000 people hi first name or something, it was embarrassing because people starting to answer like, "Oh, I'm a good first name. How about you in that company?" And people starting to joke around this. It was kind of the first, maybe the fail that I remembered, and it was kind of embarrassing.
Mhm.
But right now, I think the recent ones, um, I wouldn't say like there is a lot of fails about embarrassment, but just because I'm too kind of kind to the people, sometimes I'm just very in trust with all the people that I'm talking to. And when people drop the ball, I'm just like, do endless encouragement. Let's do this together. Let's, find a way how we can overcome this. But people have a habit that they tend to be like they don't need any help at some point. They just wanted to fail, or they just want to move forward with a different thing. So you're just wasting a lot of your time, and people cannot say no to you because you're kind or they're kind. So there's a lot of kindness type of failure.
Is there a certain personality that is great for business and another that is not?
I don't think so. All personalities used for different functions. This is why we have from HR, recruitment to sales, customer success, legal, marketing, a lot of different positions. So each and every soft skill can be addressed in some sort of function. But again, this is how it works with all the you know corporate world org structure, that everyone's different and everyone contributes to their skills to others, and vice versa.
Before you started Balkans, what would you tell your younger self?
I think triple or double on creating a company. Maybe it's just the best thing to I don't know, be employed by someone big like HubSpot or any other company. But also have a courage to kind of move forward no matter what, because I think you will have everything to kind of make it. So something like that. Definitely wouldn't say to read some business books.
What we love about reading business books, but why is it necessary for entrepreneurs to be adaptive and to become learners?
Because we are living in a fast-pacing world, and if you are not kind of on your own learning curve, you wouldn't succeed in anything. So I think you just wanted to kind of be mindful about who you are, what you know, what kind of skills are you at, what are you learning, how you can utilize these skills, even if kind of this is hobbies or not kind of professional skills. So yeah.
Very interesting. Vlad, as an immigrant, is it better to work out of Europe or out of America?
So it doesn't matter actually. You kind of can work remote as long as you are structure your own life as you wish. So depending, also depending where your business are at. So I'm pretty often travel to US, um, and I'm pretty often New York, Denver, San Diego, and San Francisco. But this is where my business are. So I think you just finding the best what is used to you, but you can work remotely easily from each and every country, so no problem at all.
I ask this country because some immigrants think being in a certain place and a certain geography helps you become an entrepreneur. Do you think that's geography and regional location is a factor in how you become an entrepreneur?
No, I think it depends more on the person. So this is why maybe 1 out of 10 people succeeds and 9 fails, because no, like not all the people on the planet is entrepreneurs or founders. There is a lot of people that can be really successful in their like functions and or sports or any other like sciences and other things. So you just have need to have certain skill set and maybe the childhood that would probably address some, I don't know, growth opportunities. Maybe you can like build a lot of Legos and when you were a child and you just wanted to build something, and this would be helpful for you to build. But I guess it starts when you are a kid and getting to learn world and something like really really like excites you in a way, and you starting to invest more and more your time into that, and you just playing by ear and see what you are capable for, learning yourself and finding the way how you can be a kind of whatever you like.
Very interesting. So you mentioned earlier you've ran a few businesses, and I believe you've launched over 15 companies. I'm just curious, how
Yeah.
do you decide which idea to pursue and which one to shelve?
The ideas that brings me like a lot of excitement, a lot of energy when I came up with them is the best ones, because I trying to kind of spread those ideas across my friends, my family, my partners, investors, and if I can charge them with this energy, if they believe in this, it worth a shot, it worth building this first, and why I'm kind of maybe give up on some ideas, because I just underestimate certain circumstances, like I don't know, regulations, legal parts of it, or again, I don't know how to build it, because otherwise, I don't know if right now I've had all the resources, I would probably build, I know, infrastructure for AI, like Stargate type of thing, if I would have a lot of unlimited resources. But again, it is what it is, and you have what you have. So yeah.
How do you balance your attention between family, your ventures, and staying deeply involved in the day-to-day running activities of business?
I'm using a nice key that I kind of highlight for myself. I also write about this in my newsletter a lot. So the responsibility is the key of finding work-life balance. So when you are like relating what you can achieve, what you can do, what you kind of doing like this week, this day, you kind of taking the responsibility that you will be successful with certain things, and you will have time for yourself, your family, your work, etc. So taking this responsibility is the key. And again, responsibility is the key for finding balance and commit for like what you have capacity for, or not commit if you don't have it. So this how I address work-life balance type of question. When you just being responsible for whatever you like, you maybe like here's an example. You can, I don't know, do nothing for months, but if you do your job in few days or a few weeks, it just makes sense for you to be kind of in that kind of position that you can kind of spend more time on your with your family, with your friends, with your hobbies, if you are successful or committed, or if this commitment aligns with the companies that you are at, or with your company, with your vision. So responsibility.
Very interesting. So, Vlad, when building Folderly, what was the single most misunderstood aspect of email deliverables that people ignore?
That email marketing is so technical right now. So it's not how it used to be like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's just more cybersecurity marketing type, when you need to work with your domains, with your mailboxes, with your infrastructure, with your DNS records. And marketers should be kind of in a position that they understand all those technical terms. But email marketing still works and still can be the key for grow your company as a key growth channel.
There's a lot of businesses that have adopted text messaging. Would you encourage immigrant entrepreneurs to utilize text messaging to communicate with their customers?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Depending on your relationship with your clients and type of product that you are selling, it maybe would be the fastest way to communicate. Doing some of the messengers, iMessages, but still email is a business tool that you are utilized for business matters. So email is the best, I think.
So, researching you, I discovered you had this mantra, the CEO operating system, the framework or routines you live by on a daily basis, right? So, what would those be, and how can the rest of us adopt them?
Okay, so what the routines? So I'm just from the guys who work a lot in the way that I'm hard worker, and my routines is having 7, 12 meetings a day, speaking to different people, different partners, working with different products. But what I would suggest to kind of put in your routine is to put a lot of sleep and to put a lot of kind of physical exercises, gym or whatever you like in terms of physical hobbies, because they will help you to find this endless energy to build and kind of strive in this life.
What is leadership for you, sir?
Leadership. Um, be accountable for your people and face all the fails, all the upsides of all the people that you are uh, be in a position to manage. So be this kind of in a way when you are accountable and putting this accountability, you can get people trust and to be with them till then. And these people will also support you down the road if you will be accountable for all the mistakes, not as a person, but as a team.
Cool, cool. Vlad, tell our listeners where they can find you on social media.
So in LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn or at my newsletter. If you like my thoughts, it's vladsnewsletter.com. So feel free to reach out.
What are you working on now that is so exciting in your life?
So I'm raising 4 Balkans to create bigger story, because I strongly believe that I can actually build something really huge and impressive and you know uh, connect with all the people in my industry and address their challenges and help them to build bigger companies. But we can achieve this only together. So I'm really like excited about this.
You bootstrapped Balkans at the start rather than raising capital.
Yeah,
What were your hardest trade-offs in those early days?
that you need to work 18 hours and sleep 4, 5. Yeah,
Right?
and this is the biggest trade-off. So I kind of had a lot of energy back then. I also have now a lot of energy, but then it kind of feels like necessity to survive. So you need to spend this money to get money because you need to pay rent, you need to buy, I know, groceries, food, and everything. So 10 years ago, it was like that. We bootstrapping, or we have something, or we have nothing.
10 years ago, you chose to bootstrap, and now you're fundraising to grow your organization, right?
Right.
What has changed?
I learned a lot. Think that we created and actually built a lot of muscle in the industry. We built a nice brand, the best brand on the market in sales tech and martech in the US in B2B. So with kind of having strong hand is better to kind of raise money because you can raise the money that you want to raise, and you have a lot of proof of concept, a lot of proof of traction that would be beneficial in the negotiations. So I think also what changed is that we can just move faster. Why I need to do this organically if I can do kind of it skyrocketingly fast?
You know what I find interesting is that people see successful immigrants at the end of the spectrum when they have done all the work, but they don't see the in between, the starting phase. They don't see the pain, the many hours you put into work. For you, how do you balance the two? The success you have now and your initial startup phase.
There is no balance. That's the truth. You just work a lot, praying for have a result. But if you manage to find your way, your product, your service, it will pays off because you will be involved from the day one and build this with your heart. So there is no kind of success story when you kind of like press red button, get a good result, and you're just like, yay, I'm the best in it. So you just honestly speaking like working fucking a lot.
Very interesting. I like how you look at things. So for you, you've hired a lot of people. Um, while hiring for personal goals and not just company goals, what do you look for that is common to the people that you bring into your organization?
That they are investing in themselves and their personalities, and that they are growing in their lives. So when they learning something that they are passionate about their growth and their next steps in the life. So this is one of the key things that I am looking into the people, that they kind of focused on their own growth on the first hand, because if they grow, will environment where they at is will grow as well. I'm seeing myself as a person who can contribute to their growth as well. So I'm always curious how I can contribute to people's growth.
Which decisions did you make early on that scaled disproportionately for either in a good way or probably a bad way?
Like any good decisions,
Yeah.
we focused a lot on new type of customer acquisition through the AI with the AI situations, and we kind of invest really a lot of money into that. and
Hmm.
now all the OpenAI's, Gemini's, Anthropics showing Balkans in a lot of places. So this is the good decision based on market circumstances.
So, for you, sir, looking forward, in the next 5, 10 years, where do you see yourself, and how much will that be affected by AI?
I would grow, I don't know, wheat on the farm. So would this would be affected with AI? I don't know, but it will help me to grow wheat. So farming is the good place to be, or something that I would probably invest my time into.
Well, you come from Ukraine, and there's a lot of farming in Ukraine, especially for wheat. So,
Yeah, that's
um,
probably where the roots is from.
do you look to go back to Ukraine?
Yeah, why not? I have a lot of my friends, a lot of my family is there, so yeah.
Okay. How about the US? How about London? How about Dubai? Anywhere else in the world? I mean, I would assume money is not an issue now for you.
Um, it's good places. I think again, being adaptable, as I started at the beginning, is the key of where you want it to be or where you want to raise your kids. So as long as the location fit my needs, I will be in
Hmm.
this location.
Okay. Why did you migrate, Vlad?
Mm, so I think the best answer for that will be that just not just to see the world, but this is maybe one of the requirements when you're building a company, that you're starting to meet and greet people. You just like starting to play around multiple locations, traveling, and it kind of have kind of capitalizing effect on all things that you're doing. And at some point of time, you're starting to travel to meet some people, to be like in the conferences, to be in some sort of like learning things. And yeah, it just started, I don't know, a long time ago.
Very interesting. All right, Vlad. So, if immigrants are listening to you, they want to embody the type of success you have achieved so far. They want to dream large dreams and big visions like you have. What say you?
Don't be afraid, and find your own keys to all those closed doors, because each and every person have their own keys to address them.
Very interesting. AI. Obviously, it's a big factor in business today. How are you guys adapting to AI, and how should the rest of the immigrant folks adapt to AI?
um, you're just starting to kind of read a lot, think a lot about this as a kind of tool for day-to-day life, like Google used to like appeared like 12, 25 years ago or 20 years ago, and internet itself. So it's just another tool that we kind of um, get from tech innovations that would be kind of efficient in your day-to-day life. So adapting AI is the key and the next key for having a success future, and be involved in the nice, great companies, great processes, and learn something that would probably be required in the future.
Vlad, you said mediocre success is worse than outright failure.
Yes.
Walk us through understanding that statement.
That's one of the thought when I kind of 2 years ago end up after wasting a lot of my time on endless meetings during, I don't know, some day of the week, and I decided to write this content piece about that. So a lot of people usually focusing on mediocre results, to be kind of, get the check boxes done, and
Hmm.
by doing this checks boxes, I wouldn't say that it's kind of bad. It just can be your job to do this kind of check boxes and do your KPIs at some point. But when you risk, when you're trying to get more and kind of push through the ceilings that you have in your kind of environment, not just the professionally but also personally, uh, and you would not rely on the mediocre success, or like, oh, it's fine or it's good. It's not that satisfying when you kind of fail. It's funny to say that, but when you fail and you try to jump out of your head, for example, you will learn quite more than you will stay in this kind of, same routine, same process, same numbers, same skills, same people. So yeah, you just wanted to fail. You need to fail to learn or grow.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Immigrants, we have been hanging out with Vlad. Vlad is a Ukrainian entrepreneur, founder of Belkins and Foldly, from startup struggles to now running over 15 companies in multiple sectors. Vlad, tell our listeners where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me on my newsletter, Vlad's newsletter, also on my personal website, Podoliako.com.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate you making the time for us this morning. It's a wrap for us. Immigrants, you can follow us on TikTok and on Instagram at the Immigrant Nation. On Facebook is at the Immigrant Nation Pod, and on LinkedIn and YouTube it's at the Immigrant Nation Podcast. Vlad, time for you to give
Thank you.
us your last word.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate time. I hope everyone had a lot of fun. So keep grow and keep fail. Then you will grow. So in all different scenarios, you need to grow and invest in yourself. Be brave.
Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. I could never agree. So, again, thank you for making the time for us. And Vlad, let's have a conversation soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Let's do.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.